travel beyond the stars and unlock the mysteries of the universe.
In the cold, dark recesses of our solar system, a world once dismissed as a mere icy rock is revealing secrets that challenge our understanding of the cosmos. Pluto, the dwarf planet, has sent us images that are not just stunning, but deeply perplexing. We thought we knew this distant world, but recent data from the New Horizons probe shows something truly unusual is happening out there. For decades, Pluto was just a faint point of light, a mystery at the edge of our known solar system. Discovered in 1930 by Clyde Tombaugh, it was quickly designated our ninth planet, but its small size and eccentric orbit always made it an outlier. A celestial oddball. For most of the 20th century, our best images were little more than blurry pixels. We imagined a static, frozen wasteland, a world locked in a cosmic deep freeze for billions of years. But in 2015, everything changed. The New Horizons spacecraft flew past Pluto, giving humanity its first close-up look, and what we saw was breathtaking. Instead of a crater-pucked, dead world, we found vast plains of nitrogen ice, towering mountains of water ice, and even hints of a subsurfaced ocean. Most shockingly, we saw a world that was geologically active. But how? A world so far from the sun, so small, should have lost all its internal heat eons ago. Its surface should be a frozen, unchanging relic. Yet, the images tell a different story. One of the most famous features is a massive, heart-shaped glacier named Sputnik. This plain is almost entirely free of craters, which means its surface is young, constantly being renewed. It's as if the heart of Pluto is still beating. Mainstream science suggests that residual heat from radioactive decay in its core or tidal forces from its large moon Charon could be providing the energy. These are plausible theories, but they don't fully explain the scale of the activity we're witnessing. The models just don't quite add up. This is where the story takes a turn, moving from the purely scientific to the deeply speculative. What if the energy source isn't something we currently understand? Let's consider this from a more esoteric perspective. Ancient wisdom and metaphysical traditions often speak of celestial bodies as living consciousness, not just inert balls of rock and ice. In astrology, Pluto is the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth. It represents the underworld, the subconscious, the hidden forces that drive change from a deep, unseen level. Could the geological activity we're observing be a physical manifestation of this archetypal energy? Is Pluto, in its own way, alive? Think of Sputnik Planitia, the beating heart. Is it a coincidence that this symbol of life and love is emblazoned across a world named after the god of the underworld? Or is it a message, a cosmic symbol waiting to be deciphered? Ancient cultures didn't have telescopes, yet assigned meanings to planets that uncannily match what our modern instruments are now revealing. They saw Mars as the god of war, and we find a rusty, red, barren world. They saw Jupiter, the king of gods, and we find the largest, most dominant planet in the system. Now we look at Pluto, the agent of profound change, and we find a world in flux, constantly remaking itself. Could this geological renewal be a physical metaphor for the spiritual rebirth that Pluto governs? Perhaps the heat source isn't purely physical, but something more. Some have theorized that planets could be nodes in a cosmic energy grid, drawing power from the very fabric of space. Is it possible that Pluto's unusual orbit, which sometimes brings it closer to the Sun than Neptune, acts like a cosmic siphon, drawing in energies we can't yet measure? These are not questions you'll find in a standard astronomy textbook, but they are questions that arise when you look at these images, not just with your eyes, but with your intuition. The surface of Pluto also shows strange, bladed terrain, towering spikes of methane ice that jut kilometers into the thin atmosphere. Scientists call them but they look like spires, like the architecture of some non-human intelligence. They seem too ordered, too deliberate. And what about the haze in its atmosphere? It's far more complex than predicted, with dozens of layers. This haze is created when sunlight breaks down methane, forming more complex hydrocarbons. These compounds then snow down, painting parts of Pluto's surface with a dark, reddish material. This process is similar to the formation of tholins, which some scientists believe are the precursors to organic molecules, the very building blocks of life. So, on this world of death and shadow, we find the ingredients for new beginnings, death and rebirth, playing out on a planetary scale. It's the Plutonian archetype in action. This isn't to say that aliens are building ice castles on Pluto. The mystery is more profound than that. It's about the nature of reality itself. Is the universe a purely mechanical, random process? Or is there an underlying intelligence, a consciousness that expresses itself through the laws of physics, through the formation of stars and planets, and through the symbols they present to us? The images from Pluto force us to confront this question. They show a world that shouldn't be active, but is. They show us a heart where we expected a tomb. They show us the building blocks of life in the deepest, coldest part of our solar system. This leads us to the open hypotheses. What if we are witnessing a form of geological life? A slow, planetary-scale metabolism that operates on timescales of millions of years. We look for life that resembles us, that operates on our clocks. But what if life can exist in forms we can't even imagine? Another possibility. Could Pluto be a cosmic transformer? Its unusual orbit and energy might not be for its own sake, but part of a larger system. Perhaps it gathers and transforms subtle cosmic energies, broadcasting them back into the solar system, influencing the other planets, including our own, on a subconscious, energetic level. This sounds like science fiction, but remember, what was science fiction yesterday is often science fact tomorrow. The universe is under no obligation to make sense to us. The photos of Pluto are a cosmic Rorschach test. The scientist sees evidence of radioactive decay and tidal forces. The mystic sees the archetype of transformation made manifest. And perhaps both are seeing a different facet of the same ultimate truth. The greatest discoveries are not made when we find what we expect, but when we find what we don't. Pluto has given us a beautiful, profound anomaly. It's a puzzle box waiting at the edge of the darkness, and it's inviting us to think bigger, to question our most basic assumptions about how a world, and indeed a cosmos, is supposed to work. What do you see when you look at these images? A cold, distant rock, or a world whispering secrets of life, death, and transformation? The debate is just beginning, and the answers may change everything. Thanks for joining us on this journey to the edge of our solar system. If this exploration sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who loves a good mystery, and subscribe for more deep dives into the cosmos. Let us know your theories in the comments below.